Earlier this year, we reported on Ghana's PPP project pipeline after the World Bank pledged $30 million to help the country develop its infrastructure. Public Investment Division Director Magdalene Apenteng is here to update us on their progress. Magdalene, welcome back.
Thank you.
First, remind us why infrastructure investment is so important for Ghana.
Ghana is a lower middle income country, having achieved that very recently. It has a population of about 25 million and a population growth rate of about 2.5%. And as at the end of last year, 2012, its GDP growth was 7.1%. This is quite phenomenal, looking at the entire world where the growth rates were below 2%. What this means is that there's a lot of activity taking place, and infrastructure is one of the key things that a country needs to propel growth and also to alleviate poverty. And as a focus and with the intent of moving forward to become a full-fledged middle-income country, we want to develop our infrastructure, make sure that we have adequate services, and make sure that there's a lack of congestion, and also improve maintenance in all the facilities that we have.
Let's talk about some of your projects. One of the primary projects is the Aqua Takoradi Road. What's the aim here?
The Accra Takoradi Road is one of the projects that we have identified for developing our infrastructure. Accra is the capital of Ghana, and Takoradi is the hub of the oil center, having discovered oil in 2007. And therefore, the linkage between the two roads is of prime importance and significance. Between Accra and Takoradi, there are about 4 million inhabitants. And once you open up this road, you're going to provide enough services and activities, especially for production, for inhabitants of this area. Secondly, the Accra Takoradi Road is part of the regional corridor that links Togo on the east with La Côte d'Ivoire on the west. So it's part of the West African Highway. Again, the Takoradi port is also plays a very significant role in this. When we open up this corridor, then other products in terms of exports can significantly get to the port for it to be exported quite easily. Again, we also have the Takoradi being the hub for the oil center. For ease of business, you have people moving from the capital to Takoradi quite easily. These are some of the few reasons why I would like to open up and dualize the road.
So tell us about the timeline. There are obviously many milestones. Where are we at the moment?
The project is being prepared effectively. We started off with identifying a consultant to undertake pre-feasibility studies on the road. We have identified, shortlisted some few consultants, and they are supposed to have submitted their request for proposals, and these will be reviewed by the end of this month, and a consultant will actually be selected to undertake the pre-feasibility studies. This will be done within a period of about 5 to 6 months, after which we'll determine whether we go straight to procure and structure the project in terms of getting a private partner to look at the design, the financing, the construction of the road, perhaps including maintenance and operations of the road as well. If it is necessary that we do a full feasibility, then we go ahead and actually do a full feasibility to actually ascertain the kind of structuring that we want to take place, after which the procurement and negotiations and contract of the road project would take place.
As well as connecting Accra to Takoradi, you're developing the port as well. Tell us about that.
Yes, we have the expansion and rehabilitation of the Takoradi port. The Takoradi port actually takes about 35% of all sea freight that comes into the country, with the remainder 65% being taken by the Tema port, which is the biggest of the ports in Ghana. The port in Takoradi is underutilized, as you can see. However, we have about 62% of our exports going through that port. That is for cocoa, for manganese, for bauxite, and other products going through the Takoradi port. With the oil discovery, there is a very good need to develop the facilities at the port to take over for oil and gas processing. And therefore, we need to have some terminals that would actually service the oil and gas. Again, we also need to have transit sheds for transmission of goods from the port to our neighboring countries and even to the interior of the country. Again, we also look at, we want to construct terminals for bulk ore that is manganese, bauxite, etc.
We've talked about your transport projects. You also have a healthcare project in the Korle-Bu Teaching Hospital. Tell us about that.
Well, the Korle-Bu Teaching Hospital Diagnostic Centre is expected to provide services, efficient and reliable services, as well as affordable services to the hospital. Korle-Bu Teaching Hospital is the third largest hospital in Africa. It has a 2,000 bed capacity and has an outpatient department of about 1,400 patients a day, and also admits about 125 persons a day. What it means is that for these 16 clinical departments, we need effective services in terms of diagnostics for these departments. Therefore, this centre is expected to service these departments effectively.
And you're currently accepting bids on this project?
Yes, we've already done the pre-feasibility and approved the pre-feasibility. However, there are some issues that came up which have to be looked at, and therefore the consultant has been requested to update the pre-feasibility, and the report is supposed to come in by the end of May, after which we'll go ahead and do the procurement and negotiate a contract for the respective private partner that would actually win the bid.
Magdalene, thank you.
Thank you very much, Nick.